Hello and welcome back to another episode of Supercoach Insider. My name is Ben.
And I'm Chris.
And thank you for joining us for our episode, Season 4, Episode 27, Hot Topics for Round 6, Chris.
Yeah, you almost got a little bit tongue-tied there. Season 4 episodes. We've pumped out a lot of episodes and a lot of YouTube content as well.
Yeah, tongue-tied. That's one of my best features.
That's what she said.
Anyway, before you move on, please do like, subscribe, follow us on all our socials, SC Insider 100 on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all our audio platforms as well, Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Podcast, Stitcher, TuneIn, PlayerFM, Podbean, you name it, we're there.
Oh, he's been practicing. Do you roll that? Do you just go to bed and be like, I've got to nail this every single time? Is that what you do?
Now I do.
Yeah. Obviously on YouTube as well, to search for a Supercoach Insider. YouTube's popping off. It's going well. We're getting up there and now almost available to make some money out of it.
Yes.
Let me see exactly how many subscribers we have now.
You do that. We're on the Peroni
635.
Peroni Leggera today, so nice and light, nice and crisp. Look, let's get into those cash cows now. So first one is Highmore. He just lingers around like a bad disease, this Highmore. 117k defender, still break even of negative 68. Will he ever move from a negative break even, Chris?
I think he comes in this week. A few things that obviously happened in the Saints game on the weekend is that Webster got injured. So one defender is definitely out, did a hamstring. And also their other defenders in Ben Long and McKenzie were absolutely terrible. He was arguably best on ground to half time and finished the game with 16 disposals and 95 Supercoach in the VFL. So I do think that Highmore is a chance to come in again this week. A high chance, chance.
You just Chris pulling a funny.
So that's probably going to happen, guys. So yeah, if you don't have him. Here's the thing. If you don't have Highmore, which I think everyone probably does, but if you don't have Highmore, is it worth bringing him in, do you reckon?
It's a tough one.
It is. It's tough because of job security, right?
Yeah, but if he plays well, sure. Well, he played well the first two rounds, so I don't know what the big issue is there. But look, at some point, you just got to...
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up.
You do got to lock it up. No, you lock it up.
At some point, you got to lock it up.
Yeah, you do. You're right. So moving on, obviously we think Flynn comes back in this week, hopefully, fingers crossed. However, Mummy has been good for 2 weeks, mate.
Yeah. Mummy's been...
Phoenix is rising.
Mummy's been very good. However, I think they'll need to give him a break soon. He'll be mummified.
I mean, here's the thing. He's played 2 games for 2 wins.
Yeah, that's a big stat.
Yeah, right? And it's their only wins of the season. So... I said earlier in the season, part of the reason why they're not playing is the midfield's not performing, and the midfield's not performing because they don't have a ruckman. Now, I do not think that Mumford plays this week because we've already heard Cameron say there's no way he could play 3 games in a row. They were even umming and ahhing about having him last week. So now I think it will be Flynn, but it could also be Briggs. So if that happens, don't be surprised. That's just Leon Cameron being Leon Cameron.
Fucking Leon Cameron. This guy. Like
everybody's favorite coach for Supercoach, right?
Well, what's going to happen when Whitfield comes in? Where's Whitfield going to play? Forward pocket?
I think he
on
plays,
the bench?
I think he plays back pocket and kicks one of those lads out. I mean, look, what they could do is they could play him in that Josh Kelly role at the half-forward flank and have him as the winger/half-forward flank, push Kelly into the midfield.
Yeah, it'll happen the week after I trade Josh Kelly.
I'm literally saying this just to piss you off.
Yep. But look, hey, we don't know. If we want to find out, we need to email, was it Lambert, and find out some inside information on where Whitfield's hiding.
I do think that when Whitfield... I mean, the great thing about Whitfield coming back, we get 2 games to look at his role. Yep. So we don't have to make a preseason decision on that.
Well, that's double the preseason data we had
exactly.
Watching for 2 games. So look, that's an interesting one. I do agree. I think Flynn might play this one, but then it's going to be hit and miss. And those who have him at R2, they have been hurting playing, we'll just get cover in Tracy. And
he's averaging, 25 or something?
If that. Oh, yeah, but he had a good game, though.
Yeah, he had a great game.
Happy Gilmore?
How good
where did he average? 5th last? Yeah, but he had a good day, though.
Meek hits a 35 in that week and then gets dropped the following week.
Yeah.
Dude, some people went Meek to Tracy. Which is better than going a Hunter for a 0. I'm sorry. It's almost like that we spent the entire preseason saying to go Gordon Grundy.
Yeah, Flynn at R3 has been beneficial. I'm waiting for another price jump or two. That might be hopefully this week and next week, and then I can get off him. But we might be forced to hold him a little bit longer. But yeah, it just depends. I think if he's making cash, you got to hold him just for now.
You've got to hold him while he's making cash. This is a guy that you should be able to swap out at around 400k. Basically one one down, one up to a forward premium. I'm hoping like a Dangerfield for 550k. So, you got to hold him because you need that cash. You need that money generation from him.
Yep. Lachlan Jones, the next one, 139k defender, break even at -48. He's scored a 61 and a 69 so far. It looks promising enough. And the reason that he interests me is because they are losing Dersmer and Butters. So I think it does, shore up a little bit of the security there. Houston kind of hurt himself a little bit, so that's a test on him. I wonder if he goes back into defence, so we're not in the midfield.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I think that there could be a question mark on Jones this week. I still think he's the right in this week because he's been playing fantastically. However, does Houston with a banged up shoulder, does that mean he moves behind the ball because they don't want him around the contest as much? I don't know. We won't know, unfortunately. And I think Port plays Sunday, if that's right.
Yeah, they're very last. Last game. Now, if you
isn't great.
Well, if you aren't sure and you have a Ridley, which we'll get onto, don't make your trades too early, guys. Hold them if you can. If you need to make the trade, then obviously you just bite the bullet and you hope for some luck. But if you can wait for some Sunday players, and if you can wait until at least Saturday night, and I think there's only about 4 or so games that play before that Saturday night period.
Yeah.
Then do it. Once you know teams, then kind of do those trades.
Well, let's have a look at this because I think we're probably relying on both Highmore and Jones being named this week.
I think I'm relying on one. I need one of them to be named.
So one of the two, right? So because obviously I think that people will probably get Highmore in this week. I think that's a no-brainer.
But we'll come down into that Ridley conversation, I think. But we'll finish off on the rookies, the cash cows. After Lachlan Jones, I think it'll depend on obviously matchups and whether he's named as whether you bring him in. But here's a good option to bring in.
Guess what? Port plays St Kilda in the last game of the round.
That's what I said. We got Perth over here, 2 hours behind.
The
very
fantastic.
last game. So
you couldn't be any worse for finding out information, right?
Pretty much. Beau McCreery is the next one, 117k forward, break even of -45. He scored a 56 and a 58. Now, it might not set you alight here, and he has performed admirably in a shithouse team that looks like an absolute bunch of rabbles, worse than Carlton right now. Here's the positive though, Chris.
Show us your positive.
They play Essendon, Gold Coast, and North next.
That's good. And
North with an F.
The other positive is obviously Jordan De Goey will miss this week at least. So we know that he's probably going to be playing, even though they've got another Sunday game. I just don't like him because he's basically Waterman for last week, but 15k more expensive. So he's a small forward. If he doesn't kick goals, he's not going to score. And so what we saw last week was Waterman drop a 27.
Well, it was wet too. Waterman, hey, how crap's that? How ironic. Waterman is shit in the wet.
Yeah, right. With a name like Waterman, at least be your namesake. So look, I don't hate Jordan Beau McCreery as an in, but I question you why you're bringing him in. Like, who are you trading out to go down to Beau McCreery that you couldn't have traded out last week? Like, what more information do you have?
Well, you could have Berry. You could have some other midfielder that you might want to sort of switch on a DPP.
Potentially. I mean,
Campbell.
But you didn't, would you? Okay, so let's say you didn't do that move last week for whatever reason. You didn't bring in Waterman at 15k cheaper. That makes sense. But if you brought in Waterman last week and now you're bringing in Beau McCreery, now you've got another 2 slow burn forwards.
Yeah,
I'm just not interested.
We have enough of those at the moment.
We still got Scott. We
Ruckman,
still got McNeil,
Scott,
Brockman.
They're
Fullerton.
All waiting for them to make 100k so I can bugger them off out of my side.
Yeah, literally. So, just buyer beware. His role is not conducive to Supercoach scoring generally. So, yeah, just be careful.
Yep. Or if you're desperate, again, Essendon, Gold Coast, and North.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ryan Mansell, with the weirdest spelling of Ryan I've ever heard. Rhyan. I don't know if that's a real thing. Is it Ryan?
It's Ryan, actually.
Oh, Jesus. Is it really?
I mean, it could be, but...
Write that down.
Oh, jeez. You got me good then.
You're welcome.
102k defender from Richmond. Oh, fuck, that got
Ryan.
me. That got me good.
Write that down.
break even of negative 33. He's shown enough. He scored 50 on the weekend just gone without being obviously too promising. But I don't know if I like his job security for too much.
He played well.
He played pretty well, but again...
In a complete domination.
But for a 102K, if you could spend the extra, 37, you're going straight up to
absolutely.
Jones.
There is a no-brainer. There's a huge difference between what you get from Lachie Jones to Rian Mansell. And in terms of cash, I think Jones has both better... He's got better scoring power. He's probably going to make more cash, and he's got better job security.
Yep.
So I just don't know why you would go to a Mansell in that sort of situation unless you... have like extra cover. So the biggest reason why I want Jones is because my D7 sucks. Actually, I don't have a D7 now. Without Clark, because he's dropped, and without Highmore, I don't have a D7 right now. So I'm pretty much screwed. So I need Jones to come in so I can have a playing player off my bench. So if you, and especially this week.
Did you go Chapman? No.
I do, yeah, but he's playing D. He's a D6 right now.
Okay, right.
So, yeah, Jones needs to be that guy that I can swing in for someone like a Ridley who's just going to be a 1 weeker.
I'm waiting next time they ask you that. You're like, just check my YouTube video, mate.
Yeah, exactly right.
Look at...
Did you not just hear me for 10 minutes go on about it? Yeah.
Yes.
So if unless you're having him at D8 and he's just going to be a slow burn defensive cash cow, which I don't think anyone's really looking for.
Nope.
Yeah.
I do agree. I also don't like him because he has 2 first names.
Well, Rian, and is Mansell a first name?
Yeah, Mansell and Gretel? No?
That's not a thing.
No, I know. I butchered that this week. Cheese, they called
that.
me out on something, and I quickly forged some other supporting evidence. Honourable mentions here. Now, Jordan Sweet, he doesn't keep his spot, but he holds a 73. There's no way Steph gets arrested, and now Sweet's going to kick him out of the side. Jai Farrar, if that's how you say his name.
Farrar?
Farrar. Yeah, Farrar.
It's probably Farrar.
It's it's like Kakar.
Farrar.
No, that's
I don't know what we're doing at this point.
Interesting. He actually did quite well, but the problem is he's 184K. He scored an 83. He did look well. He did play well, but at this time of the season, I'm not looking to bring in expensive rookies. I'm trying to maximize cash to upgrade.
Especially the biggest problem with that is that he's a forward rookie as well.
For Gold Coast.
And, well, no, he didn't play. I think he played behind the ball, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
The thing is, as a forward rookie for Supercoach, who are you trading him to? None of them are at 180K. You couldn't even sideways to them. You got to put money on your rookie to bring him in.
Rowe will get you 20 or 15K, 25K. That's about it. But
now, having said that, if he comes out and pumps out a ton, you kind of have to get him, right?
Yeah, correct.
Because he'll make you 80K from day one. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot to play out there, but this week is going to be very determined. But it has to be big.
Yeah, if it's big, it'll either be Near or Farrar.
Oh, wow. Well done. You finally got one today.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I still think my Rihan was better.
Well, look, if you're going for a home run, you got to prepare to strike out a few times.
That's true.
And I strike out a lot.
That's why I call you the Fulton, because you're 1 in 5. And yes, that's the Mighty Ducks reference for those playing at home.
Yes. Okay, Finley McRae, last honourable mention before we move on. 126K forward mid, slightly more expensive, dual position, scored a 41. Look, he butchered it a little bit. He got enough of the ball, though, so it's an interesting one for me. I'm definitely looking to watch for one more week.
I don't think he butchered it per se. He just tried kicks that are probably would be great in 18s and VFL, but you just can't pick them off at AFL level at this stage of his career.
Against West Coast of all people.
I mean, look, West Coast are the hardest team to play against, and some of his decisions are a little bit off, but some of his delivery inside forward 50 was amazing. Like, he had 2 to 3 kicks to mark inside 50, and unfortunately they didn't turn into goal assists. One was out in the full and one was a behind. And that would have impacted his score. So if those have gone through, he scores in the 50s. I really liked his ability to accumulate the ball. He looked composed by hand. He's going to be in the team for a few weeks. He did a lot to pump up his job security. So next week I will be looking to bring him in. He's the Lachie Jones of this week. I'm looking to see what his score is next week and hopefully be bringing him in for a mid or a forward rookie, depending on who. I think probably a forward rookie to try and get maybe a Rowe or a Campbell off field next week, but we'll see. The other one's probably captains. So we should probably
Yes,
go
I was
through
about to segue.
the captains. Now, I personally think there's only really two options this week.
We nailed it last week too.
We did.
We said McCreery
We did.
into Gawn. Now, not like it was a hard decision, but his track history against those teams is really good. And it's funny because in my team analysis, I put it on my screen of my VCNC. I didn't
On the
actually
line?
on the line. I didn't mention it, but Chris and I had the exact same thoughts again. Didn't even know it. VC Gawn into Grundy based on their matchups. Basically, it's Gawn is killing it. He's the best VC because you get a double take on whether it works or not. Obviously, you need a loophole, so if you don't have that, you need to change your strategy there. But Gawn against who's he playing?
Nankervis, yeah.
And Grundy is against Peter Wright.
Yep.
Like I cannot see a realm in which Grundy does not absolutely towel up.
Yeah, especially like he's got a newfound vigor the last couple of weeks. Like quarter one, he finishes a quarter last week. He's on 70 points. He's just dominated that first half. And he slowed down obviously in the second half, but he still managed a 134. McRae is just the other option, I suppose. So the Friday night game, GWS versus the Dogs. They obviously don't have De Boer right now, which means there's going to be no tag. The problem that I've highlighted on my pod is the Dogs mids, all three of them are fantastic, and they're all scoring very, very well. So you could even VC Dunkley if you really wanted to, or Bont if you want to really go wild. What we haven't seen really since outside of the preseason, which is I think more of an anomaly than it's the exception, not the rule, is there really hasn't been anyone that's gone like 150, right? So as a VC option, you kind of want your best option there. And Gawn has the ability to do that. Gawn's got the ability to go 150 plus.
Gawn nearly went
bad
like
opponent.
200. It's
Right.
stupid. But I agree. The Dogs, they're kind of, a lot of them are they're sharing the points around, whether a few of them are going that 125 to 145, 148.
I think that, yeah, so you get that guaranteed VC. You get that 130, I reckon, when you go a Dogs mid right now. But I want more than that. And I'm a bit greedy, and I do prefer a Gawn this week as a VC, especially when you've got such a great captain option in Grundy that can, you can rest your laurels on knowing that he's got Peter Wright the following day. So yeah, I'd really like that as an option. That's the way I'm going to be going. It's the way you see it.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
I can't see it any differently, to be honest. And you get a nice little VC into Gawn. I don't think we're going to need our captain, but if it does, I'm quite capable and quite happy to watch the Anzac Day game and watch Grundy absolutely towel that up.
I will be doing that. That's going to be me this weekend for sure.
Yep, so that wraps us up. Let us know what you think of the new feature and if you like the format, etc. How are those timestamps going on YouTube? If you aren't sure about timestamps, also in the Podform platform as well, click on the information and the timestamps are actually listed there. YouTube, you can actually just click and skip through to the sections you want. If it helps, on the line on the podcast platform, you can
And
just
subscribe to YouTube, just saying.
Yeah, correct. Podcast, so the information's just there, so you can have a look. Hey, I want to know about fallen premiums, etc., or specific players. Then you can actually see what time we speak about it and just go to that. Or if you miss something, you can always go back and listen.
Yep, absolutely, mate.
That wraps us up. And look, until next time, guys, we'll see you soon, and we'll talk again later.
Catch you later, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.